Hey class, how's it going? It's Nico. Okay, so today, this is where in the past, 4 or 5 semesters, I would talk about how Facebook is so important for brands, and it's something that you absolutely need to get on, and you've got all these reasons in the world why you should be on Facebook, and you know it's incredibly easy, and your customers are already there, and you get immediate responses, and there's you're basically putting your message into a position where your consumers are already looking for it, and that's the reason that you use Facebook. It's also beneficial to search engine optimization, whereas you're putting all of these wonderful links onto a big bad website that is not yours, and you are directing them towards your site. It really helps in boosting the SEO value of your website. You've got great cross-promotion abilities, and one of the most important things about Facebook is the ability to specifically target the people that you're going after. Like if you are specifically looking for African-American single moms in Boise, Idaho who like soccer, you can actually find that on Facebook. These are all still absolutely true, but the fact of the matter is, for the past 5 semesters, this is the part where I have everybody build a Facebook page for their client, and that's really silly, because if you don't have a Facebook page for your client yet, well, first of all, dude, you need to build one. You have to build one. It's insane. It's the equivalent of not having a telephone at this point. Build a Facebook page for your client. I'm not going to walk you through how, because Facebook does that for you. I am going to show you all of the wonderful tools that Facebook does provide for brands. The things that I want you to pay attention to, and the things that you really need to get out of, are the guidelines that they're now enforcing on brands. I.e., when you do a cover photo, you need to be very conscious of how much text you are using on your cover photo, because in the eyes of Facebook, a cover photo is not allowed. You're not allowed to advertise, and so if you're just putting up some big logo, you're going to put yourself in a position where Facebook has the right to take your page down. It's things like that. So now Facebook has completely changed the game as far as the way that we're approaching this from the creating digital marketing standpoint for this class. So, basically what I'm going to give you guys is a bunch of resources as far as the way that brands need to be thinking about Facebook now, and the changes that have been made, and sort of the evolution of brands on Facebook. That's the more important lesson here, not how to set up a page, because setting up a page is absolutely ridiculous. So, no, you do not have that assignment. That assignment is off the books, because it's fairly asinine, and I would imagine that half to 70% of you guys already have brands that have a Facebook page. So this isn't exactly breaking any news, so we're not going to do it. However, I am going to give you a bunch of stuff to check out. One of the coolest ones is Mashable did an article about the evolution of Facebook for brands. Check the whole thing out just so that you know where this is coming from. That's the tools are great. And understanding the different uses for each of these now are absolutely vital. However, the bigger picture is you need to understand the evolution of the way that these things are working, and the way that they're changing and adapting, and the new protocols that they're causing brands to have to deal with. So I'm going to keep this really short, because you've got a bunch of stuff to check out this week. It's all about Facebook. But I'll just make it a discussion question. We'll just do it that way. I'll just have everybody post your Facebook page, your client's Facebook page. If your client does not have a Facebook page, please make one. That would be great. I'm not going to make it an assignment, because whatever, you have it done anyway. It's not. I mean, it's the equivalent of me again saying post your Twitter handle. So if you don't have one, make one. If you need any help on that and you can't figure it out, by all means, shoot me an email. I'm also going to give you some different thoughts on just different ways to approach marketing, as far as just the things that we are doing to market our clients utilizing Facebook. I will give you this real quick before I let you go. Here is one of the things that I always talk about when I'm going in to explain why we do this to a new client or a new potential client is this simple fact. There are literally 100 restaurants in the city of Dallas that I've been to, that I've enjoyed, and I would absolutely go back again. But when it's Friday night and I'm trying to figure out where we're going for dinner, you got like 5. Whatever these 5 are, these are the only 5 who have any chance at getting my money. And so how do you get on the 5? There's certain things you can do nothing about, like there's a place called Tai Tai that's around the corner from my house that will always be on the 5 because it's around the corner from my house. However, how do you get into one of those other 4 slots? You make me aware of you. And that can be through a tweet, that can be through a Facebook post, that can be through a blog, that can be through, I mean, honestly, it could be a flyer on my car. But you make me aware of you and you get on my radar. That is what Facebook is about now. The way that we utilize it for our clients is we use it to get on people's radars. Because ultimately, you will never make a decision about nothing. Sorry. Something cannot be a part of a decision-making process if you are not aware of it. And therefore, if you are putting yourself in a position where you are about to spend money or you are about to potentially give somebody money, in order for them to have a fighting chance to get your money, you have to be aware of them. And you have to think about reversing that pattern when you are utilizing Facebook for marketing. So there is I would absolutely argue that you do need consistency, you do need frequency, and posting once a day, posting twice a week is not beneficial. I mean, it's incrementally beneficial, but it's not a campaign, and it's not truly getting on people's radars. So that's the biggest thing that we do on Facebook. The other thing is you could find yourself in a certain situation where, and a lot of you might with these particular clients. We have a new client that is called the Connemara Conservancy, that is a nonprofit group up in Allen, and their board of directors is very old school, and they're very locked in on the way that the website needs to work. And there's one of them who owns a web design company who has been around for quite a while and is going to redesign the website. He's been saying this for about 1.5 years. It's not redesigned. So so my client came to me and basically said, we can't mess with the website. We need a place that we can totally control, that we can still facilitate a message. I will never, ever tell you that you should have Facebook replace your website. Ever, ever, ever. Facebook is proprietary. You do not own the content. And at any point when they start changing their terms of service or they start changing the way that they deal with brands, you could lose everything. And that's shocking to hear, but you do not own that network. So therefore, I would never advocate that you use Facebook as a website. However, it's the largest website on the planet. Everybody uses it. It's an incredible way to get a hold of people, and when you are in a position like this particular nonprofit where you need a place to convey a message and you need a solid place to put your branding where you can't mess with a website, then this is a really good spot to do it. So just be aware of everything, and I'm going to send you some stuff this week that sort of talks about the different ways that Facebook is dealing with brands and the different changes that they're forcing on brands. But know that it is a tool and it is something that you ultimately don't control. It's an incredible asset to a campaign, but it should never, ever, ever just be a campaign. And if you find yourself in a situation where somebody's talking about Facebook as Facebook's the only thing that we need, they're completely wrong, and they honestly don't get it. It's a wonderful tool, but it is just a tool. It is not a place for all branding. So, that being said, no, you don't have to. You don't have to make a Facebook page for your client because odds are your client already has one. And if your client does not have one, go ahead and make one. If you have any questions, shoot me an email. But it's ridiculously straightforward, and I shouldn't even have to explain it to you because everybody in this class has grown up on Facebook, and you at least have a vague idea of how everything operates. So anyway, if you have any questions, let me know. Otherwise, check out everything. This class, this particular week, is going to be about the evolution of the way that Facebook works with brands and the protocols that they are throwing down now that are absolutely changing the way that brands have to deal with Facebook. At the end of the day, Facebook is a company. It is now a publicly traded company, and they have to make money. And I know that there is a lot of whining in general about, I can't believe Facebook's doing this, there's so many ads, blah, 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 blah. I've said this before, I will say this again, I will say this every time I have an opportunity. If there's a tool online and it is free, you are using it for free, you are not the customer. You are the product. I'm the customer for Facebook because I buy ads. You are not the customer. You're a user product that I am buying ads to target. And that's how Facebook will always monetize. Thanks a lot. Have any questions, let me know. Okay, bye.